Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Good evening, good evening. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Donna. Hi, Penny. Okay, so, all right, you guys. So I had an idea today, and we're going to roll with that for tonight's live. So I gathered up all of my mermaid items from the month. My day was okay, Sharon. How was yours? But I gathered all of the mermaid stuff, and I had an idea about making this little album with a new product that we got. So I have the glitter glaze of the month piece that we did. I did this on a live last week, so I have that ready to go, and it's nice and dry, so we'll be able to utilize that. And then I have the 3 new paper pads, the pieces that are left. So we're gonna try to use some of these. Here's a piece of silver glitter stock. You know, I always keep those little scraps. So we have the iridescent dreams, the black pearl, and this one's called Sea Life, I think. I don't know what happened to the cover sheet though. Regardless, from the box, dyes, the dye of the month, and all these cool mermaid mist backgrounds that I've made, and I've kind of been using bits and pieces of these throughout the month. So that's kind of what I'm going to work with today. But first I want to show you some other things that I'm going to use that I picked up today. Oh, hi, Maria. Hi, Heather. Everyone, hello. Yeah, those backgrounds, I love them. So those backgrounds I made with the mermaid mists, which are so cool and so bright. And anyone in the Pittsburgh area who wants to come to the store tomorrow, I believe it starts at 11, I'm doing a free make and take at the store, and we're going to use the mermaid mists and gel press, and we're going to make some of those backgrounds and create a card with it. So if you're in the Pittsburgh area, stop on by for sure. So I want to show you what I got at the store today. We have a new product. We have another new product too. So this is the Underwater Decorative Details Essentials Kit. So this is brand new as of today. We're going to use some of these items as well. So inside this cool tube, there are 3 different colors of a sparkly sand paste. So it's really textured, and there's actual sand in it, but it's colorful sand, and there's also a little bit of glitter, so it has a shine to it. And then you also, let me pop this open and show you. So you get 4 different things in here. And then you have a convenient little so you have the Shimmering Sand Paste White, the Shimmering Sand Paste Ocean. You can see the colors better on the bottom. And then the Shimmering Sand Paste Denim. It's like a purpley blue. So it's really cool. And it gives a really cool effect. So you can use it through stencils. You can just use it to kind of smudge on a project, whatever you want to do. And it gives like a real sandy texture. It looks really cool once it dries. And then there's these pearls. Let me open the jar here. So there's all these, oh, let me grab that one so Henry doesn't eat it. Got it. But anyways, there's all these different color pearls. There's grays, there's silver, there's like a really light pink color, kind of like a really soft teal or green. So those are fun. And I think what I'm going to try today, you can actually stick one of those like in the sand paste. So again, these are the Underwater Decorative Details Essentials Kit. This is brand new today, and I'm pretty sure it's limited edition. So when it's done, it's done. Okay, but so some other things. I'm not going to use all of these on the project tonight, but I've really been wanting these. They're the 49 in Market lace trims. So they come in 3 colors. There's black, there's like a tan cream, and then white. So let me show you. Let me open this up. I've been eyeing these up for a while, and we finally got them in, so I'm excited. Because I love, these are great for like album projects and card projects, and there's a decent amount on here. There's, it says 1 meter each. I don't know, I should know these things, but I don't know what a meter equates to in the United States. But whatever that is, there's a meter of each of them. So, but there's a really thin one, and then there's a medium size, and then this larger one. And one thing I love about these trims is that they make a really good way to cover up like an edge or a border or something. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that today, and I'm probably going to use the white one, maybe the black, I don't know, but I got all 3 colors because, you know, I have to have it all. I have to have all 3. I like options, right? You know, that's why these, you get all those options. I love that. Okay, so another thing I got, and I don't think I had this already, but I wanted to use it. Can you tint the white with inks? Michelle, yes, you could put like a re-inker in there. It's the base is water, but it's a water, like non-toxic water-based base. So you absolutely could put like a re-inker in the white one and tint it if you wanted. Absolutely. Oh, thanks, Jen. Christopher actually gave this to me as a gift. It's that he got 2 of them by mistake, so he gave me, it's the Apple Pride band for this year. So it matches, hold on, let me see if I can, they have a face that coordinates with it. So yeah, I thought that was really nice of him. So thank you, Christopher. At any rate, this is the Lawn Fawn Stitch Sun Frame die. So again, something else I've been wanting. And I decided to get it today because I think it's the sun piece of it's going to make a really cool addition to our project. And you can cut out these little pieces. It's the face and the cheeks is what these other dies are for. But I don't need the inner circle today, so I'm just going to leave it together so I don't lose any of these pieces. Maria knows that when I cut apart Lawn Fawn dies, I tend to lose a piece every time. So I'm just going to leave these intact for today, and then maybe on a day when I'm feeling really good, I'll cut it apart. So that's one thing I'm going to use. Then we got these really cool, this is called the Mermaid Tail. So it's this brand, it's called Scrapaholics, and basically this is a like laser cut piece. I don't want to say it's chipboard. It might be considered chipboard, but it's thicker than what I would consider chipboard. It almost feels like a thin wood. But it's laser cut and it's a mermaid tail, so you could paint this, you could emboss it, all kinds of different things you could do with this. So we're going to use that as part of the cover of what I'm making today. So I wanted to get that because it's like a nice, it's a dimensional embellishment, which I really love. Okay, and then I got these dies today. They're from Spellbinders, and it is part of the Susan Cockburn collection. It is the Ferns and Ivy die. So what's really cool about this die is that they're really large. So often when you have like floral dies that have greenery and leaves attached to them, those pieces tend to be smaller, so you don't necessarily have as much like to work with. So I thought these would be great that I could cut out of watercolor paper, and maybe we could ink it up a little bit and use some of the spray to make it look like seaweed. So I think that that's going to be really cool. So I'm actually just going to take these dies off. And like I said, I've been wanting these dies for a while, but I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. And then I think too that they'll be really useful at the holiday time, especially this ivy piece right here. I think that would be really nice because I'm sure I have some kind of poinsettia die or something, or maybe there'll be one later this year that this will work really well with. So that is the Spellbinders Ferns and Ivy die that we're going to use today. We're just using all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to try to move through this in a jiff. And then I was looking for cardstock to use tonight. Earlier, something happened and I had to do this in a bit of a hurry. So I found the Heather cardstock, our 100-pound cardstock, and the Midnight cardstock. I found it stuffed in my craft room, so we're going to use those. And then I'm just going to also use some watercolor paper too, or aqua pigment paper, whatever you have. But this is kind of the star of our show today. The other thing I got for tonight's live that I thought was really cool. So we are Memory Keepers. We have these now. It is they call it a paper wrapped album. So this is the Paige Evans collection. So I'm just going to peel the sticker off. I wanted to show you what that looks like at first. And we have 3 different styles. So there's this striped one, and then there is also a floral one, and then there's like another one that kind of has like a geometric print. So any of those would work for you. I just decided honestly to get this one because the inside of this kind of reminded me of like scales, like mermaid tail. So I figured this one would be good for what I wanted to do. But again, they all work really great, and they come with, they're so adorable, you guys, these little plastic sleeves. Look how cute these are. I think they're just the cutest tiny little sleeves in the entire world. But what we're gonna do is take the principle of these sleeves with the holes, and we're gonna make little album pages to kind of go in between it out of our cardstocks. So I'm just gonna, like I said, peel some of this off, peel the sticker off. So we have a nice clean slate, and I thought the colors were really fun and bright, but I want to kind of distress this a little bit as well. I think that'll be fun. So I'm gonna try to find a distress oxide ink that I think will work well with this. So maybe we'll go for like some of the mermaid colors. I think he has one called. So now if I can find that quickly, and again, you guys, I apologize. I should have had this prepared, but I had a, there it is. Oh my gosh, see? Found it in a jiffy. Mermaid Lagoon is what it's called. So it is the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide Mermaid Lagoon is what I'm going to use. And then I'm just going to go ahead and grab a blending brush to apply this ink with. If I could find one that's clean. Then I'll be right back to view all the comments. I'm not at the computer. Or at the table, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I daren't. Someone kept me late at work. Yeah, I guess I was there. I could have used maybe one of the bitty blenders, but I think for today's purpose, we're going to use the bigger brush. Let me get my little ink holder. All right, perfect. So then we have our ink, the Mermaid Lagoon. So what I'm going to do, because I do want this to dry. So I'm just going to dip in a little bit of this ink and I'm going to grab a piece of watercolor paper. And what I'm going to do, so remember how I said we're going to do some die cuts? So I'm going to just use this to kind of brush off excess ink. And then we'll be able to utilize this as kind of like a base for the seaweed. So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to take the sleeves out so I don't mess up the little plastic sleeves. Lightly go around the edges of this and kind of just give it some distressing, but it's blue, so it has that like ocean feel, right? And you don't have to do this, but I think it's fun. Some people might be like, oh my gosh, that brand new binder, and here you are dirtying it up. But I think it needs a little, love like this, right? It'll be like a nice base. It won't be so like stark white. And so the reason that I'm using the Distress Oxide, you guys, is that it's a hybrid ink. So it has characteristics of pigment ink, but also dye-based ink. So that way, we'll kind of be able to have a little bit more of a permanent feel, but it has that like more of a distressed look, if that makes sense. Yeah, Jen, I love these. I love this ink holder. I think Brianne Loveland, who came up with this, it was such a great idea. It was such a good job. She was on our design team at one point too, so she's a really, really cool person. I love them. I like because you don't have to hold the ink pad. I'm just gonna tap some of this so it adds texture to this paper as well, because I'm using a round brush. That way, whenever we go to die cut some of those ferns and ivies, they will have texture. Yeah, Heather, they do have something on the bottom. They're like little rubber things that stick them to the table. Okay. All right, so I think I've got like kind of a good amount of ink on the book. So I'm actually just gonna set this aside for a little bit, and we're our tops, our sides, and our bottoms here. All right, so like I said, I'm just gonna set that aside and let it do its thing. So, and then what I'm gonna do now is kind of take the excess ink that's left on this brush, because we don't want to waste any ink, right? And we're just gonna do some blending around this page. And now what was once our kind of ink blot page will now become the of our die cuts. And what I'm also going to do, you guys, because I think it's going to be really great, is take some of the Chroma Mist, and I'm going to spray a little bit on there. But I think I'm also going to spray some of the Mermaid Mist. So I'm going to do like a little bit of both. So I'm going to definitely use the seaweed, and I'm definitely going to use the green, but I think I'm going to do a little purple and a little yellow as well. So that way we can let this kind of fester for a little bit. So there's some of the green. Some of the purple, and then I'm going to pop some of the shimmery Mermaid Mist on there too, and then just kind of a touch of the yellow to give it like a different feel. And then that will be the base of our seaweed. So I think we're off to a really great start. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm gonna have to wipe this up. I am gonna have to heat set this though, because if I set it down somewhere else, it might not, might curl up a little too much, and then it'll mix. So we're just gonna heat set this really quick. Well, I'm glad I always make you laugh, Jen. That's good. I do live on the wild side. That is very true. Wild crafting. But what's cool about this is that the Distress Oxide that we had on here initially is also water reactive. So it kind of all mends together and just blends around. Mends. Maybe I meant to say melds together. I don't know. Today's not the day for a vocabulary lesson. But yeah, so I'm just heat setting this. And the good thing about this, this is the Heat It tool from Ranger. It doesn't make a lot of noise, and it's really good for drying large sheets like this, because it has such a wider opening than like a typical heat embossing gun. So that's what I like about it, and it doesn't, you know, sound like you're getting ready to blast off. But yeah, so how is everyone doing today? I hope well. All right, we're almost there with our drying. I think this looks so cool. Does this page look cool to you guys? Because we're going to do all those die cuts from it, so I hope it looks cool to other people, not just me. Okay. I think we're just about there. I'm just going to put the heat gun on the little album as well, just in case any of that ink I popped on there needed a heat set. We'll go ahead and get that done right now so we can move on to the fun part of creating our first little album page. And the fun thing is, I'm going to show you how to do kind of like some fold outs and just a really cool way to make a quick album, little gift gift, if you will, a gift or a and anything you say. And then we're going to decorate the front with some of this sand. That's going to be probably the last thing we do because... But look at that, you guys. That was so quick and easy to make this really fun background for die cuts. Awesome. All right. Oh my gosh. So I forgot to tell you guys. So let me show you this big black box here. We are having, our design team's having a collaboration with Barely Art Glue today, which we're going to be carrying soon. But, I don't know if I can get all this in the camera. They sent this like really cool box of goodies. It's going to be upside down because I had to turn this around. But let me take all this stuff out and show you. So, they wanted us to do some crafting with their products this week. And their design team is using some of our stamps. So here's all the fun stuff they sent. And I've never used this glue. So today is going to be the day we're going to use the glue, and I'm going to use some of the washi tape in the album too. So first and foremost, they have 3 different kinds of washi tape here. 3 different color sets. So there's the, take the plastic off, the macaroon mix, which are like pastel colors. There's the shiny sherbet, which has gold foiling on it, and then obviously the glitter goodies. So the glitter goodies is definitely what we're going to use today. But they also have these cool envelopes and cardstock card bases. So that's pretty fun that they coordinate. And there's little seals for your cards. And then the glue. So there's there's 2 different sizes. There's the mini and then the regular. And then the bear is the refill. So I think we'll use the little one today. And then they also give you okay, here's what you do. You take this cap off, all right? And then you peel off your little thing, the seal. Get rid of that. Okay. And then you put this other cap on. And then there's some options here. So you can use this little thing that this circle goes around the lid, and then you can stick that thing in to cap it, or in this little tube, which is what I'm going to do. Ooh. You have these precision tips. Okay, so this tip just screws right on the top here. Okay. I don't know what that's for. I think this is just another version of a tip. It's like a wider mouth. But at any rate, there's a longer one. But I'm not going to use the other ones. I'm going to use this one because I think this is going to be the perfect tip. And then there's a pin. This nice long pin that you store in there to keep your glue from drying out. So that's the glue. And then a little tip I have, if I can find my foam squares, I am always at a loss for where I put the foam squares. Aha! Okay, so I always just take a foam square. Okay. And then I just stick it on the bottle of the glue, like this. So then when you take your pin out, you can shove it through the foam square, like that, and then you don't lose your pin when you're gluing, right? So then you just peel it back out of there and stick it in. The more you know, right? But yeah, we're definitely going to use this glitter washi tape today. Oh, I love it. Shining, shimmering, delicious. Okay. So let's talk about these pages now. So here's our album. And here's one of the little clear guys that goes in here, all right? So what you'll do, if you ever want to figure out, you know, what size your page should be, you can measure, okay? Because you're going to have to leave room for your holes. So you want to measure this whole thing. So it looks to be almost, it's a little over 4 3/4, okay? But if you put this in here, still like a little bit of space left. So truthfully, you could probably be safe with 4 7/8. And then when you're going this way, that's like a little under 4 1/2. But if you see, there's like a lot more space in that. So you could definitely go to 5 inches, because here to here, you're still within the parameters of the binder, right? So, to review, we're going to go 4 7/8 by 5 inches. And that's going to create us a base page. So let's cut that out of the Midnight cardstock and the Heather cardstock. So let's take a piece of each. And get my trimmer. Desk's starting to get a little busy, you guys. Hi, Lori. Okay, so, all right, so we're going to go to 5 inches, right? And then we're going to go to 4 7/8, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with the other sheet. Five inches and then to 4 7/8. Okay. Now, we're going to need one of these. This is just a standard hole punch. Okay. And then remember, you want to make sure that you're doing this on the 4 7/8 side and not the, yeah, so this is 4 7/8 here. 4 7/8 here. So then what you'll do is you're going to take your pencil. You need a pencil. Always have a pencil handy. So you're going to then hold your little clear piece, okay, up to the page. And obviously, since we cut it to 5 inches, you know, tall, it's going to be a little bigger. So you just want to center that clear piece in. And then you're going to use these holes to trace where you should punch your holes at, okay? So we're just going to go ahead and do that on both of these pieces. And you want to center it, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as you use it to trace your holes, they'll always be in the right spot. Okay, so then once you have your little tracings on there, You just go ahead and punch holes in. And that's 2 base pages that you have right there, okay? And we can add so much more to these, but you'll notice they fit like so nicely in there. And because it's the 100-pound base cardstock, it's with, okay? So that was the first 2. So now I'm going to show you something else we can do. All right. So we're going to take another sheet of both and we're going to make kind of a flip out page. So we're going to go to 5 inches again because that's the height that we're looking for. Wait. Yes. Inches. Okay. And then, so we said 4 7/8. Okay. So if we want to add a 3-inch flap, what would we do? We would just add 3 inches. So instead of 4 7/8, it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7 7/8. So then we'll take this page and go to 7 7/8. Okay. There. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same exact thing with the other sheet. Five. And then we're going to go over to 7 7/8. We're not done. So then what we're is we're going to score this. Okay. Let me grab my big scoreboard here. Okay, so we're going to put our page in, and then what we're going to do is we're going to score this at the 4 7/8 that we would have cut off. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So now we have that one, and then we'll do it here too. 4 7/8. So like the other ones, that's where we would have cut the page. Scoring, okay? So, and then when you score, so there's always a mountain and a valley, okay? Or you could, or Maria likes to say an innie and an outie, okay? So, the rule of thumb I have learned is that you want to turn your mountain into a valley. So you fold, if this is your mountain, you want to fold that, okay? And then you can always put your crease in with the bone folder. These Teflon bone folders are really nice. They're kind of a little more expensive, but they don't leave marks on your paper. But you always want to put that nice crease there. Okay, and then we're just going to do the same thing as before. So we're just going to line up our clear protective sheet and draw the circles with our pencil. So that way, we're going to know where to punch these holes. Fussy cutting and enjoying. Oh my. Nope. I don't enjoy fussy cutting. No way. That's why we have dies. Okay. So now we have a page that has a flip out, okay? And you could put it either way. It could be this way, or it could be this way. So depending on where you want that to go. So just like that, easy peasy, we now have 4 pages ready, or base pages, and that was just from 2 sheets of paper. And 2 of them have a fun flip. How about that? And then we have these additional pieces that we can use for, you know, a flip up. So for example, this piece could go on here, and all we would do, I'm not even going to cut this. This is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to score this, okay? So I'm going to take this piece that was left over from what we cut, and I'm just going to score this at a 1/2 inch. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same with the blue. I'm just going to score that at a 1/2 inch. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a corner rounder, and to make it look nice, I'm just going to round these corners on the bottom, the part that I didn't score. Easy peasy. And then we're just going to need some double-sided tape. Which, hopefully I can find it real quick. Well, normally I would use double-sided tape, but I don't have it easily accessible. So I'm actually going to use the Barely Art Glue and see how that goes. So I'm just going to fold this down, again, mountain into a valley. And put a crease. And then I'm going to take the 2 pages that don't have the flaps, and I'm just going to adhere in alternating colors this directly to the top and kind of centered, okay? So that will create us a little, you know, kind of flip up. So here's my glue. This is my first time using this glue. I'm so excited, you guys. Okay, I already like the tip. I like that precision tip. That's a winner right there. And then I'm just going to line that up. Press it down. Oh, make sure I didn't get too much glue. Spread out. And there we go. We have our flip up on this page. And then I'll do the same thing to this one. Same concept. Line that up. Okay, perfect. So now we have 2 really fun pages, right? So that's cool. I think I'm going to make one or 2 more. But for these ones, I'm going to utilize some of the pieces of the Mermaid misted paper that I use, because I think that's going to be fun, right? I'm just going to kind of trim this down a bit first to get the white edges off. So, all right, so this is going to be 5 inches by 4 7/8. to 5. And then 4 and 7/8. And then same little process with our clear sheet. Okay. Alrighty, so let's perfect. So now we have 2 fun pages that can get kind of intermixed. So you can always, you know, go ahead and mingle through your different pages in your book. And just like that, we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We already have 6 pages for our little mini book. And I think that's pretty darn good, right? Anyone else? Yes, yes, no, no. So I think what I want to do on one of these for sure, because I'm looking at this lace and this washi tape, I think it's going to be fun to decorate a little bit here. So I want to take actually a piece of the paper from the iridescent pack. Oh, this Iridescent Dreams paper, you guys, I have such a hard time deciding every time. Such a hard time. All right, so I'm just gonna go with this one. So what I wanna do is cut a piece that is a little bit smaller than this rectangle, okay? So if this is 3 inches, we're probably going to do 2 and 7/8. And then if this is 5 inches, we'll do 4 and 7/8. So if we do 2 and 7/8, have a perfectly fitted piece. And you'll get that like cool white, not white, that cool purple border around it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and slap some glue on the back of this page. And we're gonna glue that down. Let's set these other pages aside. So anybody who's ever taken a class with me, these are some of the same principles that we go over in the class. I mean, obviously in the class it's a bigger album and, you know, there's a lot more going on, but these are still really great techniques and things to use. Okay, so because I'm in love with this ribbon, lace, ribbon, whatever you want to call it, I want to put some of this on there. This one might be a little large. Well, yeah, this one's kind of big for what I want to do. So I think I'm going to use the medium size. This tape on here really holds this together, you guys. All right, so I'm just going to take a little bit. I'm going to cut it. I know I'll have to trim that more, but that's okay. Okay, sorry, I had to get away from the screen for a minute so I could see that up close. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bead of glue going on here. And then I'm going to press this trimming onto this. Okay. So we have our lace. Then I'm going to take this washi tape, and I think I'm going to use this color because it's really fun. Oh, it's nice and sticky. And then I'm just going to go over the edge of that, but right up to the edge of the page. And then we'll trim this, and I know I'll probably have to trim that down a little more, but it's easier to trim it when it's not still attached to the roll. Awesome. Okay. So then we have this like really fun border with this lace going here, and then you could add like some die cuts or some seashells or something here. So I think that's super fun. And then if we want to, on the inside, we can go in with like a different paper. So let's pull something from like maybe the sea life. So like I really love this. And then I also really love the fish. So what we would do to mat the inside, so this is going to be exactly the same. So that was 2 7/8 by 4 7/8. So let's do that. So I love making, guys, I just adore it. I think it's very relaxing. So that'll fit nicely right there. And then all we have to do is just measure. So we want to make sure that this doesn't go beyond our holes. So I think for this, we'll probably be able to do 4 1/4, and then it would be the same this way, so 4 7/8. So we're just going to go to 4 1/4 this way, and then 4 7/8. And then we have some matting for inside this little page. And it's so simple. It's like once you get your measurements and your math part down, you're rocking and rolling. And because this is a binder, there's no spine you have to worry about. So don't be fearful of the spine. And there we go. We have like a cute little thing, and then we'll put like some kind of embellishment like in the center here, like a die cut or something there to kind of make that like pop. And look at that little pocket page. Or not a pocket page, flap page. But yeah, we could do a pocket on the back of this. Maria is absolutely right. You can even do like a faux pocket. So if you didn't want to like do all that, you could You could cut, what did I say this was? Or we could just kind of cheat and do it like that and mark it with our pencil and cut it that way. So here's how we'll do a faux pocket. And it's just a little shorter, so it's not like super tall. So we will just take this and put it right here. And then I'm just going to put glue on 3 of the sides and leave the top section open, okay? And I'll leave a little border. I'm going to be pressing the bottom down first. And the reason I'm pressing the bottom down first is so it stays. And then I'm just going to pinch the top in just the ever so slightest bit. And the reason I'm pinching that in just a bit and then pressing is so that way it kind of gives like a little bit of a forced opening, okay? So now we have a cool little flip out and a tiny little pocket, and that's like a whole page done. And you could do some decoration up here, you could do some stamping, or nothing at all, or you could add, you know, a bit of a background piece or nothing, up to you. So that's kind of like one little page for our book. So simple. And then you can put pictures in here, or you could put little like journaling spots, all kind of stuff. So look at that. One page already completed. Now we're probably not going to make all of these pages tonight because I really want to talk about the cover. That's kind of like the most exciting part, and I want to pop some of this sand paste on there too. That's like what I really want to show you guys. So let's take a moment away from the pages and we're going to talk about the cover. Okay, we have another product available too that I'm going to show you tonight. It's called Luna Paste by Cosmic Shimmer. It's a shimmery paste that you can use with your fingers. Yes, I said with your fingers. So we're going to need to do some die cutting. So we're going to have to cut out our sun and our ferns. And for our sun, I have this card base that I was going to do something with. So here's what I'm going to do. This is a yellow card base. It's our new corn maze paper. So I'm actually going to position this sun in a place that would look really cool on this card. So later I can go back and reuse this card base with a different sun, right? But for our purposes today, I will be able to cut the sun out of this. Always thinking ahead. So now you guys see I have a card base that has a big opening in the front. So this could turn into like a shaker card later, or you know, something with acetate in it. But I did that because now I can use this later. It's not just like a random scrap. And then look how cool the sun is, you guys. I love it. Okay, so that's our Lawn Fawn sun stitched frame is what it's called. Super cute. And clean off my die plate because there's all those little triangles from the sun in there. And then, so where did we put, oh, it's up here. This fun page that we did earlier. So I'm just going to trim this in half. So fit through the die machine. And I'm going to begin cutting out these ferns and ivy from this paper. And I think it's going to look really cool. Okay. Ferns and ivy, guys. I'm going to try to position it to get kind of like the most out of it. What do we think? I'm like missing all the comments. Yeah, so I'm going to use the Luna paste on these ferns and stuff. So I'm going to cut out 2 sets of these. I don't know if I'm going to need them all, but the way I see it, I already have the dies out. I have the machine up. Paper's ready. Might as well do it all. But look how cool that looks. So anyone who's also into like flower shaping with those like flower shaping tools, I know that you can definitely do that with these too. You can kind of roll up the edges or add some indentations, stuff like that. So it will, it's gonna look so cool. I think it's gonna look cool, at least. I hope everyone else feels that same way. If anything, thank you for indulging me on my little album making adventures. That in and of itself is wonderful. Okay, so I'm not going to fit all 3. So one of them is going to have to bite the dust on the second round through, but that's okay. All right. Let's pull all this away as we gather our cuts. All right, and then you could totally use these as like stencils or something later. Okay. So that was some really quick die cutting, I think, you guys. Maybe we should foil that little mermaid thing that I was showing you earlier. I think that might be a great idea. I'll have to use the Decofoil pen. What a wonderful idea. I'm grabbing a pen, a Decofoil pen, you guys, if I can find one. I think I have one. Whether it's easily accessible, that's a whole nother story, but I thought I had one. If not, we'll do something different. I did find more foam squares though. Lord knows I have tons and tons of this. Oh well. Wasn't meant to be, you guys. I thought I had the pen, but I can't seem to find it. Every other kind of pen. Okay, well, plan B. Yes, I'm excited about the creating event, unless the Decofoil pen's in my desk drawer. No. Oh! Found it. You guys, that pen was right next to me the entire time. What is going on? Okay. Back to the foiling. So I think we're going to use the green sketch foil. Or maybe not, because the leaves are green. Maybe we'll use the silver sketch. Yeah, let's do that. Let's use the silver sketch. Okay, so again, this is just that little mermaid tail that I was showing you in the beginning. We have too. It's like a little longer than this. All right, so I'm just going to take out a piece. There we go. And then, oh, look at our leaves. Our ferns. Our fabulous ferns and ivies. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. That dye is really good. I highly recommend that dye. Spellbinders, ferns, and ivy, you guys. Don't pass up. Okay, so the Decofoil pen. I haven't used it in a while, so I'm going to make sure she's real juiced up. I'm getting there. These pens remind me of like paint pens, so they kind of have to, the liquid has to kind of get in there. There we go. She's moving. She's running with fuel now. There we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to color over all these pieces. Everything that you want to be foiled. And this is like a really easy way to foil something without any heat. Ooh. I'm just gonna cover her up. I got a little excited and squeezed it, so I have a little more juice on the side here. We're almost there. We're almost to the end. But at any rate, so what this pen does is it makes the area really sticky, really tacky. And it helps you to adhere. Better wipe that off my desk. So we got that there. Jen. And then we're gonna push the foil onto that, okay? The shiny side, the pretty side should be facing you, okay? So the matte, like, kind of finish should be down. Let me just trim this off. Clean up some of my mess. So I'm making a real mess tonight, guys. And I just want to like really kind of make sure that's burnished on there. Burnish, burnish. And if it doesn't cover it all the way, or if you miss a spot, you can always go back with the pen after, okay? I'm going to carefully peel this away. You don't, oh, there's one little spot there. I just need an extra burnish. You don't want to rip this like a Band-Aid. You want to just ever so gently, see, and a little more burnish up here. Because you can always put it back and burnish more, right? And you can always go a retouch with the foil and the pen. You can draw right over top and, you know, be on your way. But it may not be perfect the first time around, but look how cool that is, you guys. It's all foiled and shiny and fun. And there was no heat involved here. It was just that pen and the foil, and we just kind of pressed it on. I love it. I think it's so cool. Okay, so then we have our sun, our Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun. So here we go. So I'm going to take the Cosmic Shimmer Luna Paste. It's called Moonlight Pearl. And all you're going to do, you can use a brush too, if you want. Fingers work just as well. And I'm just going to kind of, you know, I'm just going around like the tips of this sun. Just on the tip here. Points. Tips, points, whatever you want to call it. Sun rays. But, so what's going to happen is it's this like real shimmery shine, but it's really light. This stuff almost reminds me, like when you touch it, it feels like Cool Whip, like whipped cream. Okay, it's really light and fluffy. It's fabulous. It's absolutely amazing. It works wonders on paper flowers. Oh, it looks delicious. I really love it. We're going to get this in some more colors too. So, but it's really light and it dries pretty fast too. That's what I love about it. It just dries so nice and quick, and it adds this like wonderful layer of shimmer. And it doesn't completely overpower the color underneath, which is nice. Okay, so there's that. And then I still have that stuff on my finger. So I'm just gonna kind of randomly touch on these fern pieces a little bit. So there's a little shiny, shimmery, sparkly going on there. And there, you know, no rhyme or reason. Just get in there and dazzle it. It just adds such an elevated bit to your work, and you know, that's what we love. anything you can do to make your project look more fun, I think is great, right? Everyone loves sparkle. And even if we don't end up using all these pieces, then later you have these cool looking die cuts that you can use, you know, at another time. Or you could make a card to go with this little book, right? That's always nice, you know. That's one thing I'd love to do. So if you make an album or scrapbook or whatever you want to call it, a folio, and you use like a certain style or a paper collection or something, you can always take that same paper and those same principles and create a card, and then your card perfectly coordinates with the project. And I think that's so fun when you can have like so many multiple layers of things. All right. Our underwater decorative details essentials, because this is the time for this to shine, okay? It's gonna go on our cover. So we have, like I said, we have the denim, the ocean, and the white. Then we have these really cool, like multi-looking pearls here. So we're gonna arrange our die cuts. I hope I can get all this in the frame. Let me move some stuff back. Back it up. But oh my god, you guys, I'm obsessed with this mermaid tail. It's all shiny and shimmery. Oh, I love it. Okay, so here's our album, and what I'm gonna do is try to kind of like build what we're doing. So our mermaid's like dipping into the water here, okay? There's that. But then our sun, I kind of want the sun to be over here. And I really kind of want the mermaid's tail to overlap the sun. So these two pieces are important to me to be like right here. So let's say that the sun is in a good spot. So what I'm going to do is glue down the sun first, because that's going to be like our bottommost layer is this sun, because we got to get some sand on there, okay? It's going to be so fun. The cover of this is just going to be so pretty, I think. So that looks about where we had that, right? So we'll press it down. And yes, I realize that the Luna paste is still a little moist. It'll dry. We just want to press our sun down ever so gently. I'm actually going to use this towel to hold her down, so I don't smudge up the paste. All right, and that's good. That glue dries nice and quick, so we're good there. Then our mermaid tail. So she's really basically kind of like in the water. So I want the sand to go like up the sides. And I think I'm going to use a little bit of each color, because, you know, you really can't just have one. I'm going to end up probably putting the mermaid piece on like as the finale, but I'm going to leave it in the center there so I can dip in. And again, you can use a tool, a palette knife for this, but I'm just really just going to go ahead and brush on. You can use a stencil if you like. Some of this sand, I want to get it on the gold parts here. You know, I want it to be really texturized. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing kind of over here, going up. Yes, I knew Heather Collins would love this project because it's layered and it's all different kind of texture. Mark my words, I said, if you want one of these little binders, I'm going to be using it on the live later. So you better check out and get yourself one, because if they sell out, they sell out. All right, so I think I'm done with the white. All right, that's my first little layer. Now I'm gonna wipe my finger and then I'm gonna go into the blue. Okay, and then we're gonna add a little bit of the blue. Just kind of mushed into the white. Do a little mixy mixy. Mixy mixy. And then same thing, I'm just gonna add a little bit of our blue over here. Maybe get some on the edge over here. All right, I think that's good with the blue. And then we'll take the denim, which is the darkest, deepest color. And look how much is left. Like, there's a lot left in here, you guys. All right, I'm going to take the mermaid away because I don't want to get it all sandy right at the moment. And I'm going to try to put this kind of at the innermost section here. Inner corners, kind of coming to the bottom. But imagine, so we're looking at an album cover right now, and we could use this entire idea on the front of a card. Okay, so try to look at things like that as well. And I say that because, you know, if you see something on an album that you're like, wow, I love the cover of that, it's so pretty, but I'm not so much a person that makes albums. You could take the same idea and put it onto a card. Whereas on the contrary, if you see a card you just love, you're like, wow, the front of that card is so pretty. You could take that same principle and turn that into a cover of an album or into a layout or whatever you want. So I really encourage that. When you look to other people's projects and admire them, don't feel like you don't know how to do that or that's not something you do or you want to do. You absolutely can. You can just tailor those things into something that you like, something that makes you happy, you know? That's what I say. You can always take the same principles and apply them to something different. Don't put yourself in a box. That's my biggest piece of advice. Don't put yourself in a box. Try new things. You only live once, my friends. You only live once. And it is precious time that we have. Okay, so again, our mermaid's gonna end up going like this, right? But here's the cool part. We're gonna figure out how we want to arrange our seaweed. So, okay. I'm just gonna start gluing it down. Am I frozen? Whoopsies. I think we were frozen. I don't know how long I was frozen for. But I hope everyone heard what I was saying. About trying new things and stepping out of your comfort zone. I'm using my phone tonight to film this. I have my microphone on though, but it was telling me that I have a low battery. Go figure. 20%, I think. That's plenty of time. Shannon, I think you're the first person to ever tell me my voice is soothing, but thank you. Darren's probably tired because I've been keeping him very busy. So for those of you who don't know, Darren has joined our team, Brutus Monroe, as a graphic designer. And he's doing a really great job. So, but I will say I sent him a lot of emails asking for things. Like, can you do this? Can you do that? Actually, can you change this? Can you make this sentiment different for this Can you do? But he's doing a really good job, so I appreciate all of his effort. So no super big like rhyme or reason on how I'm adding these die cuts. I'm just trying to add them in a way that looks like seaweed, even though technically they're ferns and ivies. And they don't have to be pressed all the way down. Like the glue does not have to be pressed completely in. Just as long as a certain point of it gets glued, you'll be golden. But yes, this is a very fun, very sparkly project. Shannon said keeps him out of trouble. Keeps me out of trouble too. I'll tell you that. All right, so I think we have a really good look there. And since I want the mermaid tail to be going into the sun, I think I want to put one last piece, but I'm going to rip it in half. That way, if I rip it in half, I'll get kind of like a double duty out of the one piece. Might as well use all the die cuts. Yeah, that's gonna look really stunning. Okay, so then I'm gonna just load up some glue on our mermaid piece. Really get her glued in, and I'm just kind of press it lightly, not all the way like to smush everything down, but just kind of enough so it holds on. Is that what I mean? And then we're gonna figure out some of these pearls, because I wanna put a couple of these pearls in here because they're super fun. So I'm gonna stick some of them like into the sand paste, but I am also gonna add a little bit of glue. Just as a a little bit extra oomph. You never have too much glue. But this is such a fun project, you guys. I needed this today. I'll tell you what, I needed a fun project with you guys. All right, so I'm just gonna leave that at 5 right now. I might add more later, but, because there's a whole bunch more, so. And we might fill in a little more sand paste later too, like a secondary round of that, but I don't know yet. We'll have to kind of wait and see. But, so like I said, what's going to happen here is all of this is going to dry. And when the sand is fully dry, it'll be a little darker and more pronounced. So that's super fun. Oh, thanks, Donna. Yeah, they will stick in the sand paste, absolutely. I just wanted to add the glue because I don't want them to move while I'm kind of moving this, you know, project around. So the other thing that I think is going to just really take this to the next land is a little bit of the Pearl Shimmer Spray. Just because what it's going to do is add some stuff up here. And I actually might even do a little, before we do that, hold please. I might do a little of the purple. Yes. A little bit of the purple chroma mist I just kind of sprayed up towards the top here. I'm going to have to heat set that though before I spray the pearl because I don't want the two to mix. Thanks, Jen. Yeah, I mean, we're not even really fully done with this project at all, but I wanted to get through the cover because, you know, everyone loves the cover. I wanted to get through the construction of the page. Heather, I have a splatter box. I just don't want to go get it, so it's okay that it's splattering everywhere. Because you know what? This mermaid stuff looks really cool like that, so... Alright, so the purple spray is splattered. I actually, you guys, so my trash thing, this thing, the canvas clippings catcher that I always talk about, I just sprayed into it. I use this thing more than anything else in my craft room. Honest to goodness. I don't know why. I never thought I would. When I first got it, I was like, yeah, this is really cool. I love it. I think I'll use it a lot. And then I was like, will I? I do. I use it like so much. It's always on my desk. I actually just emptied it right before I went live today because it was full. All right, I'm going to put this towel down this time and spray just a couple shots of our pearl spray. To add even more of that lovely shimmer. Oh, it's so shiny and shimmery. So I know it's still drying and I know there's kind of like a lot going on, but this looks so fun already, you guys. I'm in love. And the bright yellow from that sun in the back is like just what this needed, I think. And that's also why I added the yellow spray. So, and I'm thinking I will definitely add some more pearls, but I want this all to dry first because I think I might add some more of the sand too. But I just thought this was such a cool cover. I don't want to mess it up that much. But then when you open it, it almost looks like mermaid scales. So, okay. Oh, it is getting late. So, I think here's what we'll do. I'm going to let this dry overnight. I'm going to review our pages and then maybe, what's today? Wednesday. I have a class to teach on Friday. So maybe sometime later this week or on the weekend, I can come and do a secondary live to work on the rest of this album. So we can kind of go through the process so everyone can kind of see. So if you ever do decide that you want to take a class with me, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. So, but yeah, we made this fun page with that little thing and the pocket and our little flips, our shimmer page. So all of our pages are kind of ready to go. And then what we can do later this week, because I definitely want to finish this with you guys, is decorate it. And how I want to decorate it is with some die cuts from the stamps and the inspiration. Well, there's the cover from the Sea Life. We're going to use some of the foilable card panels from the box. We're going to use maybe some of the die of the month and then just different other little, bits and baubles, like our stenciled piece. It's going to be really fun. So we'll make our own embellishments out of stamps and die cut them. So I think that's what we're going to do. I will do an additional live later this week, and that way we can kind of see everything all nice and dry, and then if we want to add more sand, we can do all that. But definitely just know that the underwater decorative details essentials kit that I used tonight is limited. The ones we made today, that's kind of going to be the end of the line there. But so if you want it, grab it. Treat yourself. But also, I love the Barely glue. It seemed to work out really well, so I'm glad that they were so kind to send us that, and we will be carrying it soon. But yeah. And I love these dies. These fern dies, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy I got them. It looks so pretty. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. I certainly enjoyed starting this tiny little binder with you. We got a lot done in a very little amount of time. So again, I want to thank you for watching. Make sure you check out everything. There's always new stuff on birdersfromneuro.com. And if nobody told you this today, you matter and you are loved and people care about you. So don't ever forget that. But otherwise, have a great night, guys, and we will see you again soon. Bye.